Hi everyone, this is Dave from Diecast Toys Plus here. If you're new to my channel, hit like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a video on my favorite casting of all castings. It's on the Mercury, Matchbox Mercuries. It's kind of a strange casting to have as your favorite, but I think it dates back to when I was a kid. I had some of these Mercury wagons and the cars, and they were I always played with them. I played with them like nothing else. There were some of that, so it just kind of stuck with me all this time. That it's the one casting I look for the most, and I like more than anything else. It's weird because I don't even have the cars that I had when I was a kid anymore. I have other cars, but not these Mercuries. So I must have really played with them an awful lot. I don't even have them. I must have wore them out to nothing and got rid of them or something. But yeah, so we'll get going here. It came out in '68 was the first year they came out with this casting. They came out with the wagon and they came out with the car. And this is the wagon version. And they were green. There was this green color. It has the dogs in the back window. It looks like it's got like a boxer and maybe a collie in the back there. It's kind of what the dogs look like. These cars are all metal on metal, all these Mercuries. That's the only way they came, was metal on metal. They didn't have any plastic bodies plastic bases on any of them. But this was the first version with these regular wheels. And there's the bottom of it. And these front tires, they actually turn a little. It's kind of cool how they turn. They're not like the old the Mustang has a little bar on the side, like the '65 Mustang, and it turns the wheels. But yeah, this is I really love this casting a lot. I can never get enough of them, that's for sure. So that was '68. That's the '68 version. Then in '70, they had to compete with Hot Wheels. In order to compete with Hot Wheels, Matchbox had to do something, because these, see, you can tell these don't really roll very good. And then they had to compete with Hot Wheels. See the super fast wheels, they put these wheels on to compete, because Hot Wheels rode, and these old Matchbox cars, they didn't roll very good. So they came out with this version, which is the same car. They didn't change anything on it except for the wheels. But in '70, they put these thin wheels on them. Like, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the first year that they came out, a lot of their cars all had these thin wheels. And then by '71, they thickened them out on them. So the bases are almost the same, except for the front there with the steering. But yeah, then they came with the thicker wheels, I think in '71. And this is, so this is basically the same car, just different wheels on it. That's all. That was that one. Then they came out with this red one. This is such a gorgeous color. It is so, I don't know if the camera is going to do any good with it on the color, but it's such a pretty red. And this one's got the bull's head on decal on the hood. This was definitely my favorite one of all. This pretty red car, and it's got the dogs in the back. See, and it's got the thicker wheels. I think this car came out in '73, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around '73, they changed it from the green, and they came out with this red version. And this is I don't know if there's another red version with a different decal on the hood that I'm aware of. As far as I know, this is the only one, but I could be wrong. There might be another one. And then there's also, they came out with a police car. And I have two of these. This is one of those rare castings I don't mind having multiples of. Otherwise, most castings I just want one. I don't need two castings of it. But the Mercuries is a different story. And these have these police decals on them, on the doors and on the hood. And they don't have the dogs in these anymore. Instead, they have like cones in the back here, and they have like a first aid kit in the back. Since it's a police car, you don't need dogs in it unless it's a K9 unit. A little dirty up there, but not too bad. But the bases were the same. They didn't change the bases on them from the police car to the regular wagon. And these are all made in England base. Well, I mean, they are different. They are different bases. Yeah, the bases are a little bit different. And it's because the wagon is number 73, and then the police car is number 55. So the base is a little different on it, and this one says 1971 on the bottom of the police car. So they changed it up a little bit. But all these Mercuries are all made in England, so they're all the England style. And then I have these wagons, and as you can see, they have a different decal on the hood compared to the other wagon. And I have two of those with this decal. There's another wagon that has a different decal on the hood, and it's got decals on the sides. I don't have that version. That version I still am on the hunt for, but I'll find one eventually. I'm not too worried about it. And these are the same as those. They have the same base on them with 71. So we have those two wagons. They're the same. And then that's all they had in the wagon. Is just those. There's 3 police car wagons with different temples on them. Then you have the car, the police car. This came out in '68 too, just like the wagon. They have the regular wheels on it. And it has the police decals on it with the blue light. And there's guys in the front seat. This has 2 guys in the front seat, sitting in the front seat. So that's kind of cool. And the same with the front. It's got the steerable front on it. Now I know there's another version with a red light on here, a red bubble. That one's kind of hard to find. That's kind of a more rare. Most of these police cars had the blue bubble light, not the red. So I know that there's another variation of this one. But yeah, that's the car version. And then in 1970 it came out with the super fast version. It still had the guys in there. But this one's got a red bubble light on it. And I don't have no decals on this one. This one is missing all the decals. So I don't have one of these versions with the decals on it. And this has the thin wheels. And it says number 55 or 73 on it. This might be the same base as the wagon, actually, because the wagon says 55 or 73 on it too. So they look like the wagon and the car have the same base on them. And then the police car wagon is a different base. So I need to get some of these with decals on them. I don't have any right now, but they're so expensive, so it makes it kind of hard to spend the money on them. But in time, I'm a patient person. I have time. And then they came out with the fire chief car. Another pretty red, just like the wagon, matching red. Very pretty, gorgeous looking red. It's got the blue light. This has got the 2 axes and the helmet on the hood. And it still has the guys in the front seat. And this one here on the base says number 59 or 73. So that's a little different than these other ones. And see, this one says 55 or 73. I think it's because the wagons were number 73. And this police car was actually 55, number 55. And then these wagons were number, what did they say? That one says 55 on the wagon too. So I think the wagon replaced the car, and then this one was actually number 59 on the fire chief car. It was slotted as number 59. And I have this version of the fire chief car too, and this one here has the same double axes and helmet on the hood, but it also has the helmets on the doors, where this version does not have any of the helmets on the doors. So there's 2 different versions of it, and there's no decal wear on the doors, so it didn't come like that. Because I know that someone might say, well, maybe the decals are off there. No, they came 2 different ways, and this one had some decal residue on it, I thought. And it looks like it's all clean. I thought it had residue on there. But they came both ways, with different temples on them. Then they also had this fire chief car, and it just has this little shield on the door and says fire chief on the hood. It doesn't look as bright as this car. It's a little duller. Maybe this probably just because it's a little wore more. And but they all have the blue light on them. 5973, that's another version. Then I have this one, which has no decals on it, which I think the decals are like that police car. I just think they're just missing off of there. And you can tell it's been played with in war, so it's, you know, they probably were taken off at one point in time. But like I said, I don't mind having multiples of this casting, so I keep it because it's what it is. It's one of my favorites, so I keep it. I don't get rid of it. Then they changed it up. After that, they came out with this version, and this version had the square lights on the roof and no men in it. They took the men out of it. These are probably in the 80s somewhere, probably early 80s. They still have a Leslie base on them, and England, still says England, but it doesn't have a number on the bottom. So this version does not come, I think this car, if I'm not mistaken, comes in a 2-pack. This is like a 2-pack car. And it probably maybe comes with a fire truck or something in the 2-pack. But these are just single castings. These all come individually. This, I think, is only in a 2-pack version because there's no number on the bottom of it. And it is a Leslie England base still. So it's an older one. But they put the square lights on it. Took the round bubble lights off of it. Took the men out of the front seat too. Kind of condensed it a little. But it still has a metal base. And it just says fire on there. On the side. So if there's a fire one, there's got to be a police one. And I actually have 2 of the police ones versions. And they have blue lights on them. That other one has like yellow lights. That fire chief car had like yellow lights. But there's no men in these. And these are like that one. I think this 2-pack has an ambulance with it, if I'm not mistaken. I think it comes with an ambulance, a Mercedes ambulance maybe, might be in there. And there's no number on the bottom of it, so it's another base changing. You know, those other ones, these all have the numbers on it, so they kind of just took the numbers out of it. Otherwise, the base is pretty much the same. And it doesn't say super fast over the rear axles anymore. They got rid of the Superfast name on this base. But yeah, these are the police cars. So of course, if there's a fire chief, there's a police car. Then there's also this one here. This is the Los Angeles Police Department, black and white. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure this is the Code Red, Code Red series. There was a TV show, Code Red, that was out, and it was based out of Los Angeles, and Matchbox put these cars out. They put a fire chief, the police car, fire chief. There's a couple fire trucks. I think there's a helicopter. So this is the police car one, Los Angeles Fire Department, or Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, black and white version. And then I also have the Los Angeles City Fire Department car too. But it looks like this has all been painted up here, and someone painted these headlights in and these 2 red lights on the front of it. So this one here has been painted up a little, and this one was not. So maybe in time find another one of these that's not all painted up like that. But yeah, so it's got a metal base. I know that there's another police car that says Metro Police on it. I don't have that casting, so that's one that I'm missing, is that Metro Police car. And there might be another police car that I'm missing too. A couple of police cars with these square lights that I don't have. And then they came out with this one here, the Haley's Comet car. And this was probably like 80, it's got the laser wheels on it. Probably 83 or so. And this is black with blue lights, blue glass on it. And the base has changed on this. Totally. It's got a different base altogether on this one. But this one says made in Macau. It's made in Macau. And it actually says 1979 on the base too. So this is like an 80s version. This came in a pretty sure it came in like a 3-pack, and there were 3 different Haley's Comic cars you could get. You could get the Mercury, and then there was a Firebird, like an 82, 83 Firebird. So it had to come out like 82, 83, this car. And then there was a Chevy Stalker, Pro Stalker car, and those were the 3 Haley's Comic cars. And this is the Mercury one right here. And like I say, it's got a different base, just a plain old base on it. But it is metal. It is a metal base, which is nice. It's not plastic yet. Then we also have this one here, the sheriff's car. This is a sheriff's. Or no, this is state police. And I have 2 of these state police ones with the blue lights. And now you're getting into a lot of tempo stuff put on the car, like the cars you have nowadays. They were a little more plain back then in the day. Now look at all the work on here, you know, yellow, blue. But this is all painted on. This is not. These are not decals like these. This has got decals on it. This is all painted in there. Actually, this is all painted in too on this police car here too. So the only ones that have the decals are all the stuff from the 70s. And then when you get into the 80s, there's no more decals on the stuff. It's all painted in there. Radar, state police, R15. And I have 2 of the exact same cars of that. And that has those laser type wheels on it. And the base, say made in McCoo, 1979. It's just a flat base on there. So we got those. And then the last version that they ever made, that I'm pretty sure this is the last one, and you got to have a blue police car. I mean, there's no blue ones in there. You got to at least have one blue one. And this was the last one, the last casting they ever made of this car. It's got this weird design stuff on it. But that was the last one that they made. And I was really happy to find this car. This car is kind of hard to find. Kind of a hard casting to find. You don't see too many of them. Cylinder drive. I'm not sure what that means. It's only on one side. But this is really a tough casting to find. And if you do find it, it's usually pretty pricey. So I was lucky I found this in a lot with like, I don't know, there were like 40 cars in the lot. And I bought it just for this car. I kept some other stuff in there, but I bought it mostly just for this one car. Just so I could get this car. And it's in really nice shape, so I was really happy that I got one, and I got a nice one, not a beat up one. So yeah, there you go. There's my whole Mercury collection. That's all of them. I am missing a few castings, but I'm a patient man. Like I said, I bide my time. I'll find the ones that I'm missing in time for the price I want to pay, and then I will add them. But for now, there you go. There they are. And I'm glad, so happy to have what I have. It's such a nice casting. I love this casting so much. I can't get enough of it. Definitely, it's one casting that I can have multiples of, and I don't mind having 2, 3, 4 of the same car. But for now, that's what I've got in my casting. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit that bell for the for notices, and until next time, this is Dave. Drive safe. Bye.